Hello everyone, welcome to What If Issei unlocked a leveling system after his world was destroyed movie. Before we start, please go support KoyoharuSensei for writing that awesome fanfic. This is the translated version I made. There will be some mistaken character's gender, but of course Issei is a male. In the destroyed world, Hyoudo Issei is the only one left after the final battle against the outer gods. In a world devastated by the Great War, life is useless, but wanting to die, the goddess Shishigami grants him a chance, the chance to become strong enough to defeat those macabre outer gods of his world. By handing over his divine power, he is taken back to the moment he first died and begins to level up. Chapter 1: The Rebirth of the Crimson Dragon. I'm tired. We were able to defeat him. The crimson red suit of armor lay among the rubble of a ruined city. It looked exhausted. Then, like dust blown by the wind, the armor began to fade. Beneath it, the face of a 27-year-old young man was revealed. His gaze was sharp but dull. His eyes, empty, fixed on the ground. His long brown hair, tied with a yellow ribbon in a waist-length ponytail, moved gently in the dry breeze. 100 years. It took me almost a century to finish the last one. Partner, what shall we do now? The brunette didn't know what to say. Just as he tried to speak, a presence interrupted him. Instinctively, he summoned his crimson armor again. In front of him, a halo of pink light began to take shape. A young woman with light pink hair, blue eyes, and a kind smile appeared. "I see you're done," she said. "And you too, it seems, Goddess Shishigami." She held in her hand the head of a handsome man, although his blue blood dripped onto the ground. "So we finally finished them all." "Yes," Issei replied, looking at the desolate wasteland that had once been his city. "But it was all for nothing. The world was destroyed. If only we had done something when Red died." The comment came from the chestnut's left gauntlet, where the Welsh dragon, Ddraig, resided. "Even if we had known back then, we didn't have the power to confront them. Not even with all the divine factions, with Indra, Ophis, we never stood a chance. Even though I was the miracle, the anomaly of this world, I couldn't do anything. Only regret. And not grow up." "Your power has grown a lot since then, partner. No offense, Shishigami." "No problem," the goddess replied. "My people were responsible. I accept any blame. But you're right, Issei. Even with my blessing, they couldn't match those monsters." Issei smiled sadly, remembering his wives, his girls. They had all died at the hands of the outer clown god. That being was the catalyst that awakened his divine power and the end of his world. Then, the goddess extended her hand and placed a pink gem in Issei's. "I found the Genesis stone. The outer supreme god had hidden it. He planned to use it to revive me, but I stopped him in time." "The Genesis gem?" Issei looked at her, dazzled by her unique brilliance. "Can he revive everyone?" "No. But it can give you a new chance. You can start over." "Start over, that's it?" Issei squeezed the gem, his eyes filled with sorrow, but also hope. "I know reliving this hell will be hard. But it's your choice. You'll be weak. I don't know when you'll appear, but I wish you happiness, Hyoudou Issei." "Thank you, Shishigami. Call me Shy, please. We've been partners for years or maybe centuries." Issei threw himself at her and hugged her tightly. Thank you for everything." "And what will happen to you or me?" "We won't be able to accompany you," Shy replied, looking at the dragon. "You'll be alone. Although that doesn't bother you, does it, Ddraig?" "Of course not, comrade. Take advantage of this opportunity. I know we'll never have the same relationship again, but I hope you understand my hostility at first." "Come on, Ddraig. I know I was immature, but this time, I'll do things right. I won't live with my eyes closed anymore. This time I'll grow up and be strong." "That's my partner." A divine golden aura enveloped Issei's hand and the gem began to glow. A tunnel of magic circles appeared above him. "Remember, defeat the one who caused it all." "I will achieve my goal." "I left a gift in your soul," Shy said. "When you arrive, don't be alarmed. It will help you move faster." "I appreciate everything, Shy. I'll be eternally grateful." "It's goodbye, mate." "Thank you for everything, not as a colleague but as a friend." "Sniff, it's the first time you've called me that." "You were always there, Ddraig. Without you, I would never have been anything. I would never have found happiness." "Buddy." A beam of light descended upon Issei. "Good luck, Hyoudou Issei," Shy said as he looked up at the sky. His hope had been renewed. "See you, Ibu." Hyoudou residence. An alarm clock rang in a common room. Wake up. If you don't, I'll kiss you." A hand reached out to turn it off, then fell heavily onto the bed. A young brunette opened his eyes and stared at the ceiling. Morning sunlight filtered through the curtain. A dream? He looked confused. He felt like he'd lived an eternity, but more than a dream, it was a nightmare. He sat up and looked at his hands, touching his body. "I'm weak in this energy." A familiar presence hovered above him. "I see. I went back to the day after I met Rainer." He smiled and tears escaped his eyes. I went back in time, girls. After so much time, that hero who became a god smiled again with humanity. Knock knock. Issei, breakfast is ready. You must go to the academy. Issei was stunned by that voice. Without thinking, he ran outside and hugged his mother. Hey. What's wrong? Why are you hugging me? I'm sorry for not telling you everything, Oka-san. His mother, not understanding, simply returned the hug with a smile. What was all that about? I just had a nightmare. Again for those games. Games? Yesterday I found some for those over 18, I think they were called Arog. That was my friend's fault. I have to get rid of those things, he thought. Well, if they're giving you nightmares, you should stop playing them. Breakfast is served, come on down now. She walked down the stairs. Issei watched her leave, then returned to his room. I lost my temper, ugh. But it worked. Then, in front of him, a transparent pink window materialized in the air. Chapter 2 First Steps. I walked to school. I'd forgotten how calming the world had been before everything. The peace that emanated from the surroundings was precious. The clean, peaceful air after so long. I couldn't help but smile. It was the height of cherry blossom season and I was already in my second year, if I remembered correctly. The day after Rainer, or as I call it, the day I learned about the supernatural world. Also, it was the day I met my crimson-haired love. Hey, it's the pervert. One of the trio. Be careful, the other day he was spying on the kendo club and the girls caught him. Disgusting. I listened to the comments of the girls at the academy as I arrived. I'd forgotten how immature I was at this age. I thought as I sighed. As I reached the entrance of the academy, I smiled nostalgically. It's been a while, guys. I looked at the new and old buildings with longing. In classes. So, the square root. The teacher explained the class topics. But thanks to my knowledge as someone who lived centuries ago, the material didn't pose any challenge. I just wandered around in my seat, staring out at the courtyard. There was a third-year gym class, and two girls who were very familiar to me were running there. Rias and Akeno. They both looked beautiful. If I didn't have self-control, I would have run to hug them. But I knew. They didn't know me yet. They didn't love me yet at this time. Rias fell in love with me a month after Razor, and Akeno, I think it was after the incident with Gabriel. Hyoudo Issei. Then I realized my name was being called. I turned to look at the teacher, who was staring at me with annoyance, as was the entire class. Yeah? I see you're not interested in the class. It's not the just. Excuses as usual. Fine, as punishment, solve this equation. Go ahead. I noticed my classmates making fun of me. I guess they still considered me a fool. I sighed, stood up, and picked up the chalk. It was a college-level equation. The professor was clearly trying to make me look ridiculous. But thanks to my studies with Ravel, Lefay, and Merlin, who taught me magic at a mathematical level, this wouldn't be a problem. Difficult? The teacher said mockingly, making the class laugh. Don't worry, brilliant people don't always get it right the first time. You'd better focus and… I'm done. I didn't let him finish. I'd already found the answer and developed the solution. I left the chalk in the teacher's hand and sat back down. It's correct. That. Did Hyoudo solve it? But it's a university-level problem. The class murmured in surprise. Fine. Silence. As you know, Hyoudo resolved this way. You must. The professor continued with the lecture. I guess he'll stop bothering me for a while. I returned to my world. To my silent observation of my loved ones. After school. I was on the second floor stairs with Mitsuda and Motohama. So you don't know Rainer? Are you crazy? If you had a girlfriend, I'd have a fit of jealousy, Mitsuda said. I think you've watched a lot of Arage videos, Ice, Motohama added. I see. I wasn't interested in talking about it. But since this was the first time Rias and I had exchanged glances, I had to be in the right place. It's Rias-sama. Rias-sama. I heard the girls murmuring excitedly on the stairs. A young woman with a slender figure and hair as red as blood was walking towards us. As he passed us, his blue eyes fell on me, with a slight mocking smile. I had forgotten that look without a doubt, a princess. I smiled back. That seemed to take her by surprise. She opened her eyes slightly and went upstairs without a word. Rias Gremory, one of the princesses of Kuoh, Mitsuda said, spellbound. It's definitely a real treat, Motohama added. That pissed me off, so I hit him on the head. Ouch. What was that for? For being a stalker, I answered seriously. Rias? Why did he smile at me? I wondered as I reached the second floor. Then I met Sona, my childhood friend. So he's your new pawn, she said, leaning against a pillar. Yes. I feel there's something hidden and powerful inside him. Sacred gear? Something like that. Issei. After school, I was heading to Mitsuda and Motohama's house, but I got bored and decided to return to my own. I had to make a stop though. So this is what the park was like. It's nostalgic to see it so green and clean. I remembered what this place had been like. A huge hole in the middle of the city. Then I heard footsteps approaching. So you're still alive. Rainer didn't do a very good job, especially at killing a mere human. I turned, serious, to the person speaking. He was wearing a dark trench coat, a hat, and had enormous black wings. It was Donishik. Or so he called himself. I don't know what you're talking about, man. I sense a demonic aura surrounding you. You are definitely a demon. I must exterminate you. Then, quickly, he tried to throw a spear of light at me. I jumped back. My body felt weak. I needed training. I couldn't win like this. Oh, you're good at dodging, or are you just lucky? You're crazy, man, I replied. He summoned 2 more spears. This time I'll make sure to kill you. He threw them at me. I managed to dodge them, but one pierced my left breast. Ugh. It hurts, doesn't it? Don't worry, I'll end your torment. Then, dark red rays surrounded him, forcing him to retreat. Who are you? A red magic circle appeared near me. A girl with red hair and an academy uniform emerged. You better stay away from this guy. Rias. Shit, I was losing a lot of blood, my conscience. And I fainted. In my mind. I opened my eyes, but I wasn't in my bed. I was in infinite darkness. I had my academy clothes on. Where am I? At that level, you won't be able to defend yourself. That voice. The white boy will laugh at you. It's been a while. Then, an explosion of flames appeared in front of me. From them emerged a towering red dragon. Welsh dragon. The Red Emperor. Ddraig. Ddraig. I am the dragon that resides in your left hand. Then my left hand burned with a red flame. So you're the one who resides within me. Why are you appearing now? Your magical power is increasing every second. I was hoping to talk to you in a few years, but something in your soul has begun to disrupt your sacred gear. It's overwhelming, I know. How can I increase my power? Training. You should start with that and learn to control the mag. Alert. You have reached level 2. What was that? A pink window appeared in front of me. User. Hyoudo Issei. Race. Demon human. Idol. Disciple of the Red Dragon, wielder of the Red Emperor's Gauntlet. Level 2. HP 8150s, plus 1 per second. MP 500/500s. Ons. Rias Gremory, King. Passive. Regeneration through demonic aura, temporary. Skills. None. EXP 1/200th. Something is interfering with your soul, Ddraig said, closing his eyes. It's divine aura, but it's also not. It's unknown. I suggest you don't delve into my memories. You'll accomplish nothing and damage your soul. Who are you? You're not scared or surprised. It's like you already know everything about the supernatural. I know everything, Ddraig. But since we don't trust each other yet, I can't tell you. The dragon stood up and crossed his arms. Do you think we'll be friends? I think so. But as you say, it will be a relationship between carrier and entity. Were you going to call me a gun? You don't seem offended by that. The previous carriers never had any relationship beyond that. Except for 2. I closed the window, looked at him and smiled. So, like you said, let's have a wielder-master relationship. You'll help me train, right? Ahaha, that sounds good. I'm curious to see how far you'll take it. He approached, and I extended my hand to shake his. He offered me a claw. Sure, mate. The light enveloped me, and when I opened my eyes, I looked at the ceiling of my room. The next morning. It's morning, I muttered, getting up. I felt a lump next to me. When I pulled back the sheet, I saw a beautiful crimson-haired girl sleeping peacefully, naked. I couldn't help but smile. I approached her. The scent of roses from her hair filled my senses. I missed you so much, my crimson queen. I was close to tears. I wanted to kiss her, but I was afraid of ruining our story. Who knows what would happen if I interfered too much. Knock, knock. The sound of the door brought me out of my thoughts. Issei, it's time to get up. We have to go to the academy. Rias moved slightly. Oh, good morning, Hyoudo. I quickly covered his mouth, but that caused us both to fall to the floor with the sheets as we stood on the edge of the bed. Hiya. Rias' scream made my mother rush in. He found us naked, one on top of the other. She looked at us in astonishment. Rias smiled and greeted her. Good morning. Ah, good morning. Don't forget to change and come down for breakfast. My mother said, still in shock. Husband. Issei slept with a girl. That. I heard my mother's hysterical scream followed by my father's shocked voice. I sighed deeply, feeling like the chaos was just beginning. I'll have to give him an explanation. You're on top of me. Ria's soft voice brought me back to reality. I noticed I was still on top of her, her figure warm and beautiful under the sheet. She looked flushed, and that made me react immediately. I sat up quickly, grabbing a pillow to cover well, you know what. Sorry, I wanted to avoid trouble, I said, standing up. She sat up in bed, holding the sheet to cover herself as well. No problem, your parents are fun, he replied with a light laugh. She sat on the edge of the bed to put on her underwear. I, for my part, put on my boxers and a robe. Suddenly, she moved her hair aside and showed me her back. Will you help me? I saw her loose bra and smiled. In my past life, I used to help her with that. It was little moments like this that made me feel good. I walked over and fastened it without hesitation. Why are you smiling? Are you thinking about something perverted? Of course not, I denied with a genuine smile. It's just that I think you're beautiful. She stared at me, a little surprised, then smiled. Wow, thanks for the compliment. He finished putting on his uniform and I put on mine. He sat down once more, this time facing me, with a more serious expression. I suppose you have a lot of questions about last night. Let me just say that everything you saw from Yuma is real. I feigned surprise, even though I already knew it inside. Then he spread his demonic wings, his gaze haughty and majestic. I am Rias Gremory, a demon and your master. From now on, you are my pawn. The way she said it, with such authority and pride, made me smile. Yes, she's definitely the same girl I knew. We went down to breakfast. Thanks to a little magic from Rias, my parents didn't ask too many awkward questions and we were soon heading toward the academy. As we walked, I couldn't help but glance at her again and again. Her crimson hair dancing in the wind, her firm and elegant bearing, she was beautiful. And even more so now, knowing who she really is. Hey, ever since we left your house, you haven't stopped looking at me, he said suddenly, looking at me mischievously. That's sorry. It's just that you're very beautiful. She looked at me in surprise, then let out a small laugh. You're quite flattering. Very different from the guy I met a few days ago. He must be noticing the change, I thought. I need to act a little like I used to, or at least pretend to. The breasts, I like breasts. What the hell am I saying? I wanted to die of embarrassment. She watched me silently and then she started laughing. Haha, sorry, it's like you're forcing yourself to act like a pervert. Tell me, are all those rumors about you and your club true? Well, to a certain extent. But lately I feel like it's not worth it to be like this. I feel like a child. She looked at me more seriously, as if my words had touched a nerve. You can be who you are and not take into account what others say. It's better to find your own happiness than to live as a slave to others. His words touched me. I noticed a slight sadness in his gaze. We were approaching the entrance of the academy when I heard the murmurs. Isn't that Hyoudou? What are you doing with Rias Onisama? The comments were poisonous, full of judgment. The girls looked at me with contempt and the boys, with hatred. The pervert with Rias-sama. Haha. Then she came up to me and whispered in my ear. Someone will pick you up at the end of class. See you later. With that, he walked firmly towards the entrance. Okay, I murmured as I watched her walk away. The whispers didn't matter. The looks didn't matter. Because she was now by my side. And this time, I'll do things right. Chapter 3, My Beloved Saint. I walked toward my classroom. Most of the students were whispering and looking at me out of the corner of their eyes. Obviously, it was because of the person who had walked with me a few moments ago. I slumped into my seat, leaning my face against the desk. I barely managed to relax when I felt a presence approaching. Two girls. One with pink hair and one with brunette hair. They were Caddis and Murayama, from the Kendo Club. If I recall correctly, they were the club's leaders. What do you want? Caddis, Murayama. They both looked at me with a certain seriousness. I suppose it's because I've been with Rias. What were you doing with Rias-senpai, Hyoudou? Caddis asked bluntly. The entire classroom fell silent, waiting for my answer. I sat up slowly, rubbing the back of my neck. It was just a chance encounter. Nothing important. Coincidental. How does a pervert like you end up next to our goddess? Listen, I said, annoyance welling up inside me. You don't want to provoke me. I've changed, and although I have patience, I wouldn't hesitate to defend myself if attacked. What's up, pervert? Are you going to spy on us after school? Caddis insisted, looking for a fight. The atmosphere became tense. My eyes stared at her emotionlessly, as if I no longer cared about maintaining a facade. Just as the silence became unbearable, the door opened. What's going on here? Caddis, Murayama, take your seats. Class will begin, the teacher announced. See you around, Caddis muttered in disgust before walking away. I sighed as I turned my gaze toward the window. Did I really used to suffer through things like this? How ignorant I was. During recess, as I was reviewing my notes, a commotion arose in the classroom. A handsome blonde boy walked confidently into the room. Isekai'ed. Hiya. The girl squealed with excitement. Are you Hyoudo Issei? I stood up slowly upon hearing him. A smile formed on my lips. I hadn't seen him in a while. The last time was on the battlefield. When he died protecting us from an outside god. Yes. What do you need? Rias but you asked me to take you with her. Oh, the handsome prince came for me. Hahaha, I joked as I stood up to follow him. The occult club was in the old academy building. Demonic energy permeated the air. For an ordinary human, it would be suffocating. For me, it was just nostalgia. Upon entering, my gaze fell on a small figure sitting in a velvet armchair. White hair, gentle eyes, and a cat ear tiara. Kaneko. Sweet, quiet Kaneko. This is Tauju Kaneko, a first year. She's a member of. I couldn't save her. Kaneko. Issei-senpai. Why did you have to protect me? I love you, senpai. Ooh. The lump in my throat suddenly shook me. Hyoudo. I snapped back to reality when I felt Kiba's hand on my shoulder. I was crying without even realizing it. I quickly wiped my tears away. Are you? Ara. Isn't that the new one? The soft, seductive voice interrupted. It was unmistakable. A young woman with black hair tied in a long ponytail, violet eyes, and a goddess-like figure. Hyoudo-kun, she is. Bakeno, I said with a warm smile. Bakeno blinked, confused. Do we know each other? No. It's just that you're quite popular at the academy. Ara, how flattering. Rias was right about you, she replied with her typical one-san air. She's the vice president. Kaneko's an assistant, Kiba commented. It was then that we heard the water in the shower stop. A door opened and Rias appeared, drying her hair with a towel. Her movements were smooth and majestic. I'm sorry, but since I couldn't shower at your house, I couldn't continue the day like this. No problem, I replied with a smile. Rias sat at her desk. As I told you, from today on you are my pawn. My servant. You have been reborn as a demon. Is everyone here? Kiba, Akeno, and Kaneko spread their pitch black wings. Mine emerged as well. The same power, but more stable. My name is Rias Gremory, heiress of the Gremory clan. And I am your king. Later, Rias explained to me about sacred gears. Divine artifacts bestowed upon humans by the biblical god. Pillars of balance, capable of changing destiny. There's a sacred gear inside you. I chose you because I felt its energy. How do I activate it? Imagine the strongest being you know. Your power will respond. I closed my eyes and extended my right arm. Alert. Pseudo-boosted gear cannot be summoned. Checking conditions. Alert. The sacred gear has evolved. Emperor's Night Gauntlet. The red light covered my left arm. Metallic scales, dragon claws, and a glowing green gem. It's the booster gear. You're the Seekvaira. Rias exclaimed in surprise. I couldn't believe it. Had he gotten it again? Even in this time? Notification. Level up LVL3. User. Hyoudo Issei. Race. Demon Human. Title. Disciple of the Red Dragon, bearer of the Emperor's Gauntlet, pawn of the Crimson Princess. HP. 600, MP. 1000. Bonds. Rias Gremory, King. Passive. Crimson Dragon Knight, 1%. Skills. Boost, new, Dragon Shoot, new. Equipment. Night Gauntlet of the Red Emperor. EXP. 5, 1000. What caused the level increase? And this passive only 1%. Is something wrong? Akeno asked curiously. Oh, nothing. I just thought it would hurt, I said, pretending. Rias explained that the booster gear doubles its wearer's power with each boost. I was assigned simple tasks. Handing out flyers using magic circles. Easy. Too easy. I wasn't a weak Issei anymore. Days later. I trained tirelessly. I ran, I trained, I watched my diet. Finally, I felt like my body was mine again. Ah. I was panting after a marathon run from the city entrance to Kuoh Park. I drank water and splashed it on my face. Status. Level 5 Hyoudo Issei. HP. 1000, MP. 2000. Passive. Fatigue 30%. Since I defeated the renegade demon, I've gone up 2 levels. I felt like I could defeat any low-ranking demon. The Kai system was restoring my true power. If I kept this up, maybe I could stop those bastards. I'll stop everyone, I whispered, clenching my fist. Hiya. A scream interrupted my thoughts. I turned toward a nearby fountain. A blonde girl, with green eyes and dressed like a nun, had fallen to the ground next to a large suitcase. My eyes widened in recognition. Asia. Issei-san, take care of yourself. Yes. Asia. Where are you? My vision took me to horror, my house in ashes, charred bodies and above, crucified, she. The first one who loved me and whom I couldn't save. His lifeless eyes begged me for forgiveness I never deserved. "Are you okay?" I asked, holding out my hand. "Hey?" His voice was the same. My soul trembled. Chapter 4 Ma Mylar Enemy. As I carried her suitcase on my shoulders, she walked beside me with a shy, downcast expression, as if the simple act of walking next to another person embarrassed her. "Is something wrong?" I asked, noticing his discomfort. She jumped, surprised by my voice. "And nothing, it's the first time someone has approached me without fear," said Asia, looking at the ground sadly. Seeking to start a more pleasant conversation, I asked in a curious tone. "Are you from abroad?" "Yes. The church sent me from Italy to join the local headquarters in the city." I knew it wasn't true. She'd told me before. She was cast out. Punished for saving a demon with her powers. The church, in its holy blindness, discarded her like garbage. It made my blood boil to think of the Vatican elders, and even more so, of the demon who had dragged her into that situation. "Oh." A child's wail caught our attention. A boy had fallen on the sidewalk. Without thinking, Asia went over to help him. Her instinct was pure, kind. But the look the boy's mother gave her was contemptuous, as if Asia were a threat. "I know you must be afraid of me," Asia murmured sadly. "That's not true," I replied firmly. She looked up, surprised by my tone. "You helped with your heart. That thing you have is a gift from the biblical God." So, to show her I wasn't the only different one, I summoned my gauntlet. The boosted gear glowed red, and Asia was speechless. "It's incredible. You're not alone in this." She stood up with an expression full of curiosity. "What is your name?" "Hyoudo. Hyoudo Issei. You can call me Issei or Ice, like my family does." "My name is Asia. Asia Arento," she said, with a shy smile. "It's here." We had reached her destination. Even though I tried everything, I couldn't convince her to come with me. "Thank you for the help, Issei-san. Are you sure you don't want to come with me?" "No need. I'm a member of the church. I need to help others as much as I can." "I understand." She knew what awaited her. The pain. The suffering because of Rainer. And yet, she. "Why do you look so worried, Issei-san?" She caressed my cheek gently, giving me a warm smile. "I'm sure we'll see each other again. God willing." She bowed in farewell and headed toward the old church. I stood there, watching her walk away, my chest tight. As I arrived home, just as I was climbing the porch steps, a magic circle appeared next to my left ear. "Issei, I'm Akeno." "Akeno? What's wrong?" "The president needs to see you at the club now." "I'll be right there." I sighed. I changed my course toward the academy. The sky was already beginning to darken earlier, a sign of winter. Upon arriving at the club, I knocked on the oak door. After hearing a "come in," I entered. Everyone was inside, and Rias, sitting at her desk, seemed preoccupied with a pile of paperwork. "Oh, Ice. You called me, but you..." Rias took off her glasses and handed me a document. "A request from one of my regular customers. I won't be able to make it, and Akeno's busy. So are the others. I'm sorry to ask this on your day off." "No problem. Where should I go?" I walked over and took the pamphlet. "Near the old church." My mind filled with images. I already knew what that meant. That exorcist. When I arrived at the indicated house, the smell of blood was the first thing I noticed. I walked in quickly. Blood on the floor. And in the living room, a corpse crucified on the wall. That was the first thing I saw. Oh, I remembered, I forgot about that pesky aunt from this time. A chilling voice. Footsteps. A man appeared. Platinum hair, red eyes, priest's attire. Kuoh, what's a demon doing in these parts?" I glared at him. "Pride." "No, wait, you're just a little demon," he said, letting out a psychotic laugh. "Did you do this?" "Ahaha. Yes. This human was bound to demons. As God's representative, I had to purge him." "Hi." A scream. Asia appeared, horrified. "Issei-san. Are you?" "Oh, do you know him, Asia-chan?" Pride approached her. No, this is unheard of. You're related to demons, it's a waste." Then he started licking her cheek. "Then no." I clenched my knuckles tightly. "Pride. You'd better stay away from her." "What if I don't want to?" "Lol." Boost. The blast rang out, my gauntlet flashed, and I punched him square in the face, sending him flying into the next room. "Ugh. Why, you damn demon." "Calm down, I'm here," I said to Asia, stroking her head. "I say, San." "Well, Fried, where do you want to die?" "Damn you. Die." He fired light bullets. I blocked them with my gauntlet. Then he lunged with his sword, but I pushed Asia behind me and stopped him, holding the blade in my hand. "Hey?" With a kick I sent him flying again. "You're weak, Fried. Scum. I'll exorcise you, even if it costs me my life." Then, a crimson magic circle appeared behind me. The beam of destruction struck Fried, sending him flying again. "You'd better stay away from my pawn, priest." It was Rias. Beside her were Akeno, Kiba, and Kaneko. "But you? It's time to go, Issei. Asia, come with me." "Sorry, I have to stay here." "What? If you stay, they'll kill you." "We'll see each other again, so go." "Issei, it's time to go." Fried regrouped and fired light bullets. Kiba slashed them with his sword, Akeno blocked them with her magic circle, and Kaneko struck him head-on. "Issei. Asia, please." "I'm sorry." He pushed me towards the magic circle. "Wait, Asia." "Issei, leave her." "Akeno, we're leaving." The light of the circle enveloped me, taking me to the occult club. "No, Asia." "See you, Issei-san." Plop. The sound of a slap echoed in the room. "But you." Akeno tried to stop her, but it wasn't enough. Rias had slapped me. "What were you thinking? You should have left her, told us." I remained silent. My bangs covered my eyes, my cheeks still red. "I have to save her," I whispered. "It's impossible. You're a demon. She's a servant of the fallen angels. Saving her would mean making them our enemies." I gritted my teeth. I clenched my fists. "Issei." Ha! It was midday. I'd skipped class. I couldn't concentrate, not after what had happened. It still affects me to see them. I thought about all the girls. They don't even really know me. We're not in love yet. But I want to spare them from their suffering. As I stood up from the park bench, a golden glow crossed my vision. A familiar figure appeared. "Asia?" "Ai-san." "Ow." It was a strange scene. Asia stood in front of the fast food counter, clearly confused. What would you like to order?" the employee asked, unsure how to handle the situation. "I'm sorry," I chimed in. "She'll order the same thing I will." "Okay." Asia was visibly embarrassed. "Oh, I can't even order a burger by myself." "Well, you should learn Japanese first," I said, smiling. We sat at an empty table. I noticed several men staring at her. I emitted a small amount of my aura. It was enough to stop them from doing so. She looked at the hamburger without knowing what to do. "Have you never eaten one?" "Is there really a way to?" "Princess, this is how you eat it." I showed her how to remove the wrapper, laughing sweetly. Asia was like a ray of light in my world, and I wouldn't let that light disappear again. "There's actually a way to eat like that. Awesome. Look at her, she really is an innocent girl. You can also eat the potatoes like this." "Oh, God." Asia is watching me eat with very sharp eyes. "Come on, eat, Asia." "Why, yes." She takes a small bite of the burger. She begins to eat. "Be delicious. This burger is very delicious." This girl is saying it while her eyes are shining. I just kept looking at her, it feels like a dream, seeing Asia being so innocent again. "I swear I'll make you happy, my beloved saint, and protect you from them." He thought with determination. "Have you never had a hamburger before?" "No. I've seen it on TV several times, but this is my first time eating it. I'm thrilled. It's delicious." "Oh. So, what do you normally eat?" "Mainly bread and soup. I also eat vegetables and pasta." "What a simple meal. Was the church like that?" "Really? Well, enjoy the burger." "Yes. I'll eat it with joy." Asia begins to eat it deliciously. It seems like she hasn't eaten in days. She said she had some free time, but she seems to be running away. I think I remember why. "Asia, do you want to go to the video game center?" "Video games?" At the nearby store, I had paid for 2 computers for an hour. "Come on, Asia, use the R. This wa." So in the game we had lost. Defeat. The sound of the announcer echoed in our helmets. "I'm sorry." "Don't worry, as long as you keep playing, you'll be able to improve." It's incredible that people start insulting in the game, but what is this GG thing? Good game, is said at the end. Oh. Then I noticed the game had lasted exactly an hour, so we left the cybergamer. But I felt like I'd lost sight of Asia. When I looked behind me, she was standing in front of a crane game. What's going on? How? And no, it's nothing. When I ask her, she tries to hide it. Is there anything you want? When I look inside the crane game, there's a Ratch-chan plushie inside. It's a cute mouse-based mascot. If I remember correctly, this character originated in Japan, but it's popular all over the world. So that's why Asia also knew it. "Asia, do you like Ratch-chan?" "Huh? And no, that's." Asia's face turns red and she nods her head shyly. "Okay, I'll get one for you." "Huh? But." "Okay, I'll give it to you, I'm the strongest." Strike while the iron's hot. I immediately put the coin in and began controlling the crane. With eyes Wukong, 10 sec. The eyes of the Monkey King was a skill I learned in my previous life. Thanks to the old man's training, I didn't use it much, but I did put it to good use when I defeated the outer god Azath. Its strong point is momentary prediction, it allows me to see different predictions of the movement. 10. Even though I can only use it for 10 seconds now, if I force it I could destroy my eyes. 9. Left is not right. 8. It's hard, my eyes are starting to burn. 7. It's incredible that I have to learn to use that skill again. 6. Center yes, that's it. 5. My eyes begin to blur. 4. A red rim began to appear around my pupils, a sign of internal ignition. I admire that old monkey. He is truly someone to be feared when it comes to enduring this ability. 3. 2. Now. Then I press the button to take the stuffed animal. 1. The hook would go down, then grab the stuffed animal, and it would fall into the exit. Skill used, cooldown, 3 hours. I started to stir and breathe, to touch my eyes, trying to massage them. Are you okay? You look exhausted. The blonde girl said kindly, worried. Yes, here you go, Asia. Then I handed her the stuffed animal. Asia was happy that she held the doll to her chest. Thank you very much, Ai-san. I'll take care of this doll. She smiled as if something precious had happened to her, which made me smile, since seeing that smile is the greatest reward I can have. Then I take her by the face, I give her a kiss on her forehead. Ai-san. D sorry, it's just that you're beautiful. D that. It's definitely the Asia I remembered, although I remembered her as older, since at that time, we were 24 years old. Let's keep walking, would you like to see the aquarium? Sure, it would be a pleasure. Chapter 5 Trust us. Ah, we played a lot today. Why yes, I'm a little tired. We're walking down the street laughing. It's already late. Haha, I skipped school today and had fun until dusk. We were lucky not to be caught by the police. If we had been, we would have been taken into custody immediately. We ended up feeling tired. Well, I was a little, but that's due to my mental effort to avoid using excessive force among humans. It was fun to see Asia's reaction when we went to the game center and other stores. After that, we both focused on the park, on the grass. To talk about everything, until we get to the topic of his sacred gear. You're amazing, Asia. The power to heal, it's an incredible power, it's a sacred gear, right? Yes it is. Just as I thought. To be honest, I also have a sacred gear. Although, it's not very useful. Asia makes a surprised face after hearing my confession. Ai-san, do you also have a sacred gear? I didn't notice at all. Haha, I don't even know what it does. And if I compare it, Asia, your power is incredible. This can heal humans, animals, and even demons like me, right? She puts on a complicated expression, then a sad face. Immediately after, a tear falls from her eyes. Then, more tears begin to fall from her eyes. She can't stand it anymore and begins to cry. I forgot her painful past, so I hugged her. Then, she told me a story about a girl who was once called the Holy Maiden. In a certain region of Europe, there was a girl who was abandoned by her parents. She was raised in a nearby church by a nun along with other orphans. The girl, a staunch follower of the church, received a special power at the age of 8. She healed an injured puppy, and a member of the Catholic Church accidentally witnessed it. Since then, his life changed. The girl was taken to the main Catholic Church and was symbolized by many as Holy Maiden because of her healing power. She used her power to heal many believers, and they were told that it was the power of divine protection. Rumors attracted more rumors, and she was respected as a Holy Maiden, even without her approval. She didn't dislike the way she was treated. Church people were kind, and she didn't hate healing people. Instead, she was happy that her power was useful. The girl was grateful for the power God had given her. But she was a little lonely. She didn't have any friends she could open up to. Everyone treated her kindly, and it was good to stop her. But no one was willing to become her friend. She understood why. She knew they were looking at her power as something irregular. They didn't see her as a human, but as a creature who could heal humans. But one day, that changed. Coincidentally, there was another demon nearby, and she healed him. A wounded demon. The girl couldn't ignore it. She thought that even if he was a demon, she had to heal him if he was hurt. It was her kindness that made her take that action. But that changed his life forever. One of the church members saw the incident and notified others in the church. The church ministers were shocked by it. The power that can heal demons. Something as absurd as that can't happen. The power to heal can only heal followers of God. Yes, many people possess the power to heal. But the power to heal demons was out of the question. The people of the church thought it was common sense that the power to heal wouldn't work on fallen angels and demons. Apparently, a similar incident occurred in the past. The power to heal fallen angels and demons who weren't protected by God. But that was classified as the power of a witch. So people saw her as a heretic. Damn witch who cures demons. The girl who was once respected as a holy maiden was feared as a witch and abandoned by the Catholic Church. She had nowhere else to go, and the Wandering Exorcists organization took her in. In other words, she had to obtain divine protection from the fallen angels. But the girl never forgot to pray to God. Nor did she forget to thank God. Even so, the girl was abandoned. God did not save her. What surprised her most was that there wasn't a single person in the church willing to defend her. There was no one who cared about her. It's because I didn't pray enough. It's because I'm clumsy. I'm so stupid I can't even eat a hamburger by myself. The girl, Asia, wipes her tears while laughing. I looked at her with a face of understanding. I just dedicated myself to listening to her. This is also a test the Lord gave me. Since I'm clumsy, the Lord gave me this test. So I have to put up with it. She was laughing as if she was talking to herself. You don't have to say anything else. I'm sure one day I'll have tons of friends. I have a dream. I want to go buy flowers with a friend, buy books, talk. She is full of tears. I can't stand looking at her anymore. She must have been putting up with it the whole time. She's been waiting for God to save her all this time and has been hiding her feelings from the beginning. Asia, God is dead. I would like to tell you, but I know that in time you will know. I take her hand. I say to her while looking directly into her eyes, which are soaked with her tears. Asia, I'll be your friend. No, we're already friends. Asia stands there, confused. I'm a demon, but that's okay. I won't take Asia's life, and I won't take any price. You can call me anytime you want. Oh, and I'll also give you my cell phone number. I put my hand inside my pocket and take out my cell phone. Because? No, it's not why. Asia, you played with me all day, right? We talked, right? We didn't laugh together, right? So you and I are friends. A human, a demon, or a god, none of that matters. Is that a pact with a demon? It's not. Asia and I are going to become real friends. We'll put everything else aside. We'll talk whenever we want, we'll play whenever we want, and yes, I'll go shopping with you too. Whatever it is, books or flowers, we'll go shopping as much as you want. Okay. Even after centuries, I still can't make romantic conversations properly, getting carried away again. But Asia places her hand over her mouth and tears begin to fall again. This time, though, her tears didn't seem to be tears of sadness. I-san. I have no common sense. We can learn by walking around the city. If you go around looking at different things, you will eventually learn. I can't speak Japanese. I don't know about your culture either. I will teach you. I don't know what to talk about with a friend either. I hold Asia's hand firmly. You've been talking to me normally all day. That's good. We're talking like friends now. Will you become my friend? Yes, so let's get along from now on, Asia. She nods her head and smiles. Yes, that's fine. Now we can fall in love again. It's impossible. One thing that rejects all my thoughts. When I look in the direction the voice is coming from, I'm speechless. That's because someone I know is standing there. The slim girl with silky black hair. It was Rainer. It was you. He said, smiling. It's been a while, ex-girlfriend. Ha. You survived. And as a demon. Seriously, that's the worst. Her voice isn't the pretty voice I remembered and sounds more like that of a charming adult. Rainer-sama. Asia calls her by her name. What does a fallen angel like you want? She scoffs when I tell her that. I don't want a dirty low-class demon like you speaking to me. She looks at me like she's seeing something really disgusting. That girl. Asia, she's our personal property. Can I have her back? Asia, you know it's useless to run away. No. I don't want to go back to that church. I don't want to go back to people who kill other people. Please don't say that, Asia. Your sacred gear is essential to our plan. So please come back with me. I also took the time to look for you. Don't cause me trouble. Rainer approaches. Asia hides behind me. Her body is trembling with fear. I step forward to protect her. Wait. Can't you see that she doesn't want to? What are you going to do with her after you get back? Rainer. Low-class demon, don't call me by my name. My name will be tainted. What happens between us has nothing to do with you. If you don't return quickly to your master's place, you'll die, you know. Renal gathers light in her hand. Is it a spear? If it were the same as in my time, that would be like a small stone to me. But that weapon can now harm me. Boost. Then the clang of my gauntlet resounded to appear the Crimson Knight's arm. I was told that your sacred gear was a dangerous one by the higher-ups, but it seems they were totally wrong. The fallen angel starts laughing as if he finds it funny. What? What's so funny? Your sacred gear is a common one. It's called twice critical. It doubles the wielder's power for a time, but having your power doubled isn't a threat to me. Truly, it's a fitting item for a low-class devil like you. What an idiot. Then quickly, I disappear from his sight. Huh? Ugh. He had hit him in the abdomen with a kick, causing her to fall to the ground. Damn low-class demon. She then summoned several spears around me. Boost. The booster gear resonates, then quickly with speed I dodge them, however there were some that had reached my leg and one in my shoulder, causing me to fall to the ground. Ugh. I don't have the stamina to endure yet, since I'm not a dragon. This is bad. The light is toxic. It's toxic to a demon. That's because a green light is enveloping my body. When I look, Asia is healing my wounds. She is placing her hand on my wounds and healing them. The spear of light gradually became smaller and eventually disappeared. I didn't feel the slightest pain. Instead, I could feel Asia's warmth. Asia. If you don't want the demon to be killed, come with me. Your sacred gear is essential to our plan. Your power, the Twilight Healing, is a rare sacred gear unlike that demon over there. If you don't come with me, I'll have to kill the demon. Rainer gives him a cruel order. You're boring me, I can beat you. Yes, I understand. Without listening to me, Asia accepts the fallen angel's order. Asia. Ai-san. Thanks for today. It was really fun. She flashes a big smile. My wounds were completely healed. After confirming this, she walks over to Rainer. Good girl, Asia. That's it. Problem solved. With today's ritual, you will be freed from your suffering. Rainer makes a lewd face. Asia. Wait. Thank you for being friends with someone like me. I promise to protect Asia. She turns around, but she's still smiling at me. I'm momentarily captivated by her smile. Bye-bye. She says goodbye. Rainer covers Asia with her black wings. Low-class devil, it seems you were saved by this girl. If you cross my path again, I'll definitely kill you. Goodbye, Ice-chan. The fallen angel who mocks me flies high holding Asia. The only one left is me, Rainer's black feathers that Asia left behind. I just clenched my teeth along with my knuckles. Slap. A sound echoed inside the club room. That sound came from my cheek. I was slapped. Rias slapped me. She had a solemn expression. How many times do I have to repeat myself? No means no. I can't let you save that nun. I visited the school after failing to save Asia. So I told Rias the story. Even after reporting what had happened, I suggested going to that church. Obviously to save Asia. But Rias, on the other hand, said she wouldn't get involved in this matter. I couldn't agree with her decision, so I tried to change her mind, even though I knew it was rude of me. That's why she slapped me. Then I'll go alone. I'm worried about the ritual. The fallen angels are doing something in the shadows. There's no guarantee of Asia's safety. Are you really that stupid? If you go, you're sure to die. You won't be able to come back alive. Do you understand? Rias tried to speak calmly, but she spoke to me as if she was warning me. Your actions won't just affect me, but the other members as well. You're a devil of the House of Gremory. You need to be aware of that. Then let me out of this group. I'll go there as an individual. I can't do that. Why don't you understand? I didn't remember Rias getting so angry, so it's funny that she was a proud girl of her family before Razor. But there are things I can't take back. I became friends with Asia Arento. Asia is an important friend. That's a wonderful thing. I think it's incredible that you can say that. But that's different from what we're talking about now. The relationship between demons and fallen angels isn't as simple as you think. Both sides have been hostile to each other for hundreds and thousands of years. If you show them even a moment of weakness, they'll come and kill us. They are our enemies. Wasn't destroying enemies the Gremory way of doing things? We looked at each other intensely. That girl was originally from the God faction. She's a person we can't coexist with. Even if she went with the fallen angels, she's still an enemy to us devils. Asia is not our enemy. I denied it flatly. But she has nothing to do with us. Ice, you have to forget her. Then Akeno-san came and whispered in Butchu's ear. Akeno also had a serious expression. But it didn't seem to be because of our conversation. Rias, who was listening to Akeno, put on a serious face. Just as I thought, something definitely happened. Rias turned to look at me and then looked at the rest of the members. I have something urgent to do. Akeno and I are going out for a while. Butchu, we haven't finished yet. Rias placed her index finger on my lips. Ice, there are a couple of things I must tell you. First, you think a pawn is a weak piece, right? Or what do you think? I quietly answered his question and nodded. That's a huge misunderstanding. The pawn has a special ability that no other piece has, and that ability is promotion. Just like in chess, a pawn can change to any other class if it manages to reach the opponent's base. It can be promoted to any piece other than the king. Ice, you can promote to any piece other than the king in the place I recognize as enemy territory. Since it hasn't been that long since you became a demon, there are certain restrictions, so it's probably impossible to become the ultimate queen. But you can change to other classes. If you earnestly wish for it and say promotion with your heart, then your ability will change. The chess pieces, I forgot I had that option. One more thing, it's about the sacred gear. When you use your sacred gear, remember this. Rias began to caress my cheek. Desire. The power of a sacred gear is based on the user's desire. It also determines their power. Even if you've become a demon, your ambitions are not lost. Desire. The power of my wishes activates the sacred gear, so my wishes will make this sacred gear work. There's one last thing you should never forget, ice. Even the pawn can defeat the king. It's basic in chess. And this truth also applies to demonic chess pieces. You can become stronger. After saying that, he teleported somewhere using the magic circle with a Keno-san. Only Kiba, Kaneko-chan, and I remained. After taking a deep breath, I was determined to go and was about to leave. Hyoudou? Kiba called me. Are you going? Yes, I will. I have to go. Asia is my friend. I'm the one who has to save her. You'll only get yourself killed. Even if you have a sacred gear, even if you use promotion, you can't defeat a group of exorcists and fallen angels by yourself. The logical answer. But he doesn't know my true power. I will go, even if it costs me my life, I will free Asia. I would say it is a great determination, but it is still reckless. So what am I supposed to do? I yelled at him, but he told me directly. I'll go too. What? After hearing something unexpected, I was speechless. It couldn't be helped. I had just heard something I hadn't expected. I don't know much about Asia-san, but you're my comrade. Even though Butchu said that, there's a part of me that respects your decision. And personally, I hate priests, just like fallen angels. I detest them. I remembered that I still haven't gotten over what happened in this time. Do you remember what Butchu said? You can promote any piece other than the king in the place I recognize as enemy territory. In other words, she meant that she had recognized the church as Rias Gremory's enemy territory, right? Butchu said she recognized that you took a long road. Of course, that also means I should support you. But you might have some plan. Otherwise, she would have stopped you by locking you away somewhere. Kiba smiled slightly. I'll go too. Kaneko. I feel uneasy if only 2 people go. It would be helpful, Kaneko. He told her with a smile. Okay, let's go, guys. He said to head towards the place with determination. Chapter 6 Dragon's Wrath. We walked towards the church, but as we crossed the dilapidated entrance outside it, the barrier that covered the place dissipated in front of me, and the strong magical energy, I felt it from that same chair that was falling to pieces. The aura is dense, it must be because it is sacred. Kiba commented as we stopped to appreciate the place. Energy comes from below. Kaneko said as she watched his eyes light up with gold. Skill. Eyes of the victorious Buddha. I look with my Monkey King eyes to see in detail, then I could distinguish it. The magical auras gathered in the place. On the first floor, there was Fried, and the basement, I could distinguish the aura of Rainer and Asia, but I was alarmed by Asia's aura, which diminishes every second. Quick, we must hurry. Without waiting, I ran inside. Wait, Issei-kun. I heard Kiba say, but I didn't care. As I quickly entered the center of the room, I could make out a person with silver hair, bloodshot eyes, and priestly clothing. Bikiki, I already smelled a stench nearby. Are you a demon baby? I don't have time for you, Fried. I said coldly. Ahaha, do you think you'll be able to get through with that tone? It's a shame your mistress isn't with you to defend you. Did you get lost, puppy? Woof woof. The wretch said mockingly. Which made me upset. If you want to fight, let's do it. He said, summoning the gauntlet. The cracking of broken stained glass still hung in the air when Fried launched himself first. His body was a jagged silhouette amid the flashes of his lightsaber, each shot from his pistol illuminating the room like lightning in a thunderstorm. Issei didn't back down. The first exchange was a collision of extremes. Fried danced with almost inhuman speed, his blade flashing an arc so swift they left incandescent lines in the air. Shots shattered the walls behind Issei, piercing statues and burning sacred benches. But he kept moving forward. His steps were thunderous. His fists were missiles. Each blow made the ground vibrate, each impact resonating with a sharp crunch. One of his blows missed and struck the marble altar, splitting it in two. Kiba and Kaneko watched from the shadow of a fallen column. The speed was monstrous. Every attack Fried brought was aimed straight for the kill. But Issei he didn't dodge gracefully. He did it with anger. Hand to hand, he dominated. Not by technique. By weight. For brutality. Because of a rage that drove him like an engine without brakes. Fried attempted to shoot at point-blank range. Issei deflected the barrel with one hand, and with the other, he lifted him off the ground with a kick to the stomach that sent him spinning in the air. The gun fell. The sword wobbled on his wrist. There was no room for recovery. Issei followed him in the air. A punch to the face slammed him into the floor, shattering the planks as if they were glass. The church creaked. The echo of the impact reverberated for seconds. Pride spat out blood, but he was still laughing like a madman. He flipped, retrieved his sword, and charged forward with a slash straight to the neck. The sheet never arrived. Issei's arm caught the wrist in mid-motion. A twist of his torso. A knee to the ribs. Pride's breath escaped with a nearly stifled groan. The sword flew far away, sticking into the wall like a stake. "It's over," Issei said, then quickly delivering a series of blows. Another blow. And another one. Until he struck it with his heel and smashed it into the ruined altar of the cross, raising dust that covered the place. Pride's body was shaking, covered in sweat and blood. His eyes reflected pure fear as he watched me advance with my gauntlet flashing. His psychotic smile was completely disfigured and sweat ran down his forehead like icy rivers. "TCH. Don't think you've beaten me yet," he shouted, activating a small cross sealed with dark magic. A black aura emerged from it, enveloping his body, giving him a temporary power boost. A new lightsaber emerged in his right hand, larger, sharper. Its speed multiplied, and with a beastly cry, it lunged toward me. Clang. His sword collided with my gauntlet. Clang clang clang. A series of fast, frantic attacks rained down on me. I backed away, blocking, absorbing each blow. But then. Boost. My strength surged again. My arm glowed with a hellish radiance. In the next second, I grabbed Fried's sword with my bare hand, cleaving it in half with sheer brute force. What he shouted, but it was too late. Boom. I kneed him in the stomach, bending him double. I leaped back, charging crimson energy into my fist. Break this if you can. The fist connected directly with his chest. The ground beneath Fried shattered as if a bomb had exploded. His body flew through several floors of the church, crashing into the ceiling. Incredible. Tiba said in the background. It's strong. Kaneko added. The battle was over. But I didn't stop there. I ran down the stairs until I felt Asia's presence, her dim, weakened light. When I reached the basement I froze. Asia. The scene struck me like a spear to the heart. Priests chanting in monotonous voices, gathered in a circle. In the center, Asia, crucified on a dark metal cross, her body hanging limply, wrapped in binding chains. Her gaze searched me weakly, tears streaming down her face. In front of her. Rainer, with a cruel smile, a black sphere in her hands, extracting Asia's sacred gear. No, it can't be. Boost. The crimson aura erupted around me, my footsteps shattering the ground. Kiba and Kaneko followed behind me, ready to fight. Stop, Rainer. You're already late, worm. What a shame, he replied coldly. The priests tried to stop me, but Kiba drew his holy sword and eliminated them with surgical precision. Kaneko crushed those who approached with glove-reinforced fists. I jumped straight towards Rainer. Wham. But just before reaching it the sphere glowed brightly and the sacred gear was ripped from Asia's chest. Nuo. I screamed loudly. Rainer hugged Asia's sacred gear, giving me a sadistic look and flies off to the first floor. Asia fell. His body was shaking, his breath was weak. I ran to her, knelt down beside her, and took her in my arms. Issei-kun. Don't talk, I'll get you out of here. I'll save you. I promised. I can't feel anyone anymore. But I'm happy. His fingers touched my cheek as a tear fell from his emerald eyes. Thank you for coming to for me. His hand fell to the ground. His heart stopped. No. The memories. Memories of that day, which will pass in 20 years. The death of Asia. Outside the church. The skies were lit up by the battle raging in the forest. Rias and Akeno intercepting Rainer's accomplices. 3 fallen angels with arrogant smiles. And what are you two planning to do? One asked mockingly. Rias took a step forward, her gaze icy, her voice filled with anger. You just upset someone you shouldn't have and now. The fallen angels, along with Rias and Akeno, shuddered. Then the sky split. The column of crimson magical aura emerged from the church, crossing the night sky. The ice. Rias said worriedly. Chapter 7 I'll never let you go. He didn't remember what happened, but he was standing in the middle of a nostalgic white room. The blinding light covered the place, so without thinking I walked forward, while my footsteps echoed throughout the place. Is anyone here? He asked questions of nothing, but received no answer. Aisha. Belzard. Guys. I expected to be transported to the white room of the former carriers, but apparently that was not the case. I walked for I don't know how many minutes and I couldn't find any sign of anyone. However, as if a voice whispered to me from a distance, he appeared. "Why do you fight? That voice sounds familiar." Then a kind of blinding light covered me completely. "What the heck is?" I said as I covered myself with my arms. Then I could see the ruined city of my old world. I made a promise that I would change my future, I would change this scene. I said, clenching my fists. "Really? Haven't you learned anything from what we've been through yet?" Said the voice I heard behind me. "Are we alive?" I responded in confusion, but then I saw the voice walking forward. Light brown hair, with a ponytail tied with an orange ribbon, oriental costume with silver details and a dragon figure. This is where it all began, this is where we began to see the truth of our weakness, that strength is everything to survive and protect. My future self said, I thought it would be an illusion of Shy's system, but. The system alert popped up, it only marked 2 boxes. HP. Error. The system indicated an error. You are me, and I am you. Said the future me. Remember that you must protect them. At any cost. As if it were a blur of a brush. Hiba and Kaneko couldn't help but feel fear, they felt the strong aura of their new companion abounding in the church, as if a red fog appeared. Issei-kun. Hiba said, seeing his comrade have the girl's body in his arms, however he saw them, with his yellow flashing eyes, along with his contrasting crimson-red aura enveloping him. Protect her body, I'll go after her. Hiba couldn't help but hesitate to listen to him, but the aura and gaze he gave off was a coldness he had seen before in an acquaintance. The gaze of a demon king. Then Issei, upon leaving Asia's body, disappears leaving a crater in the ground. Alert. Access denied. 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 The system was in turmoil and began to emit golden screens around Issei, who ignored the system's call. Entity allows limited access. 1-minute limit. Rainer. Issei muttered as he crossed the concrete in the church, the city began to cloud over, as if a storm foreshadowed calamity. Rainer, who was looking at the city of Kuoh, smiled, but then felt a chill, then she intercepted a red energy cannon from the church with her spear, which made her retreat. Well, despite being a worm-class demon, you still have the strength to fight. Issei, who had taken out his demonic wings, looked at her coldly. Soon this city will succumb to my power, and that of the new lord Gabriel-sama, together we will make the 3 factions and the world tremble, with a new holy war. Rainer started laughing like crazy. And your parents and friends will be the first to die, just like that nun girl, hahaha. Issei, who was smacking his lips, speaks. I'm not interested in your words and stupid speech, if you want a war, I'll give you what you want. Oh yeah? And what would it be? A death in battle. Then Issei, whose hands began to summon blue lightning. The clouds around him began to pulse black and white, as if Issei's heartbeat responded to his surroundings. A strong typhoon was beginning to rise in the skies from above Rainer. Lightning and heavy rain began to hit both and the surrounding areas of the city of Kuoh. This technique will sound familiar to you since one of your leaders controls this element. From both hands, Issei began to accumulate blue rays. That technique. Rainer immediately realized that the bird-like figure looking at her was undoubtedly Baraquiel, the angel of lightning. How is it possible? It doesn't matter, with that girl's sacred gear, a mireful lightning won't do anything to me. Kuh, do you think so? Boost. Then the crimson energy merged with the lightning, then turned red. That will be nothing, you will see the true power of a fallen angel. Your arrogance will be your downfall. Then Issei points his finger. Goodbye first girlfriend. Then the sky was covered in a flash with a gigantic red lightning bolt colliding with another cloud in full view of the others, roaring the heavens. Rias and Akeno were approaching the church, seeing the storm that was generated in the distance, she thought the worst, but upon arriving, Rias saw that Kiba and Kaneko, who were looking at the sky, noticed them arriving. Rias but you. Kaneko and Kiba said. What happened? Are you okay? Yes, but Issei-senpai. Kaneko said. Where is? Rias said looking everywhere, Kaneko then points up, then, from the sky she saw Issei descend with his demonic wings, on his arm, it was noticeable that he had fought, and his uniform sleeves were destroyed, as well as parts of his wardrobe. Something that made Akeno avoid blushing because she couldn't help but look at Issei's half-naked body. Ice, what? Then I threw the angel Rainer in front of him, she looked burned and without wings, as if they had been burned alive. Akeno, wake her up. Akeno nods, raising her hand, and water appears in the air, which she throws at the fallen angel's face. Cough. Rainer coughed after being drenched by the water. The fallen angel woke up and opened her eyes, Rias looked down at her. How are you, fallen angel Rainer? Are you the daughter of the Gremory house? Rainer said with difficulty. Hello, my name is Rias Gremory. I am the next heir to the house of Gremory. It may only be for a short time, but it's nice to meet you. Rainer then laughs. You think you have me in your hands, but I'm sorry. This plan was kept secret from the top brass, but there are other fallen angels with me. If I'm in danger, they won't come to help you. Rias said it clearly, rejecting Rainer's words. That's because I've already eliminated the 3 fallen angels, Kalawana, Donishik, and Middled. Liar. Rainer denied what Rias said as she sat up straight. Rias took out 3 black feathers. These are the feathers of those 3. You can tell them apart since you're the same type as them, right? Bernal lost all hope after seeing the feathers. It seemed Butchu had been telling the truth. After meeting Donishik, the fallen angel who attacked Ice, I learned that there were a few fallen angels planning something in this town. But I ignored it because I assumed it was a plan involving an entire group of fallen angels. Not even I'm foolish enough to face all the fallen angels. That's when I heard that the fallen angels were moving in secret, so I went with Akeno to talk to them. When I saw them in person, they brusquely said it was their own plan. They said that by helping you, they would raise their status. Shameless people who move in secret usually boast about their plans. Rias smiled. Rainer, frustrated, clenched her jaw. They looked down on us because we were just 2 girls who approached them. So I asked them as a parting gift. Fufufu, they talked without realizing who was going to die. Such stupid fallen angels. And given that they were willing to help with your pathetic plan, they were certainly poor devils. Akeno then smiles. Being hit by a gunshot won't leave a trace. The Duke's princess who possesses the power of destruction. Butchu is a powerful demon, a genius within the group of young demons. Tiba made a comment about his mistress. One of her nicknames is Ruin Princess Scarlet, you know. That's who you're up against. Akeno-san said it smiling. Then let's finish this matter. Ria's eyes turned intense and brutal. Rias approached Rainer. The fallen angel became frightened. Rainer began to temper and looked at me. She put a distressed look on my face. Ice-chan. Please save me. Her voice was Yuma-chan's when she used to be my girlfriend, but I walked away from her coldly to take Asia's body wrapped in a white sheet from Kiba to go to Ria's side. This demon is trying to kill me. I love you. I love you so much. So, let's defeat this demon together. Rainer acted like Yuma-chan again and begged for my help while crying. I was stupid to have feelings for her back then, but now, I've given my heart to several people who valued me for who I am. Goodbye, my love. Rias, could you? After hearing that, the fallen angel stood still. Don't try to flirt with my cute servant. Disappear. Bang. When the roar ended, I left Asia at the ivory altar of the church, which was being illuminated by the moon after the clouds had dissipated. Rias, everyone, thank you for fighting for me and Asia. But even so, with all your help, Asia is. He said sadly. Ice, what do you think this is? Rias took something out of her pocket. It was red like blood. It was a chess piece the same color as her hair. Ice, this is a chess piece, a bishop. It's a bit late to tell you now, but a title demon is given 15 chess pieces in total, consisting of 8 pawns, 2 knights, 2 bishops, 2 rooks, and a queen. Just like in the real game of chess. I've already used one of my bishop pieces and I have 1 more left. Rias then walked towards Asia while holding the red chess piece in her hand. She placed the red bishop on Asia's chest. The role of a bishop is to support other party members. This girl's healing power could be useful as a bishop. It's never happened before, but I'll reincarnate this girl as a demon. The crimson flow of magical power surrounded Ria's body. I command you, in the name of Ria's Gremory. To you, Asia Arento. I will resurrect you on this earth as my servant and you will be reincarnated as a devil. To you, my bishop with a new life, enjoy it. The red chess piece began to glow and entered Asia's body. At the same time, Asia's sacred gear returned to her body. Rias stopped her magic after confirming that the chess piece and the sacred gear were inside Asia's body. Rias then sighed. I stared at her in a daze. After a moment, Asia opened her eyes. I couldn't stop my tears after seeing her. Hey? Asia's voice. That voice I thought I'd never hear again. Rias gave me a warm smile. I resurrected her because I wanted the power that can heal even a demon. Fufufu, Ice, from now on, you will protect her. Since you will be her senpai as a demon. Asia lifted her torso. She looked around and found me. I-san. I hugged Asia, who looked puzzled. Asia. As I wept from the bottom of my soul, because I felt as if I had recovered Asia in this time and a hope of changing her ending, the ending that would end her life. Let me know in the comments below if you guys want the next part. Also check out my other video that has been shown and left. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video please like and share this video. And have a fantastic day. Bye.